the most extraordinary title anyone's ever seen.
Rockstar, who's fired at least 30 employees.
There have been protests outside Rockstar and Take-Two offices. Major delay. So where does this leave us? On November 6th, Rockstar Games announced that Grand Theft Auto 6 is delayed again. The game that was pushed to May 2026 earlier this year is now releasing on November 19, 2026. That's another 6 months, but here's what makes this delay feel different. It came less than a week after Rockstar fired over 30 employees in what a major UK union is calling union busting. There's legal action happening, protests outside Rockstar offices, and a lot of questions about what's really going on behind the scenes. Today, we're breaking down what actually happened, what both sides are saying, and why this matters beyond just another game delay. Let's talk about it. So first, the facts. On November 6th, Rockstar posted a statement saying Grand Theft Auto 6 will now release on November 19, 2026. Here's their exact statement. We are sorry for adding additional time to what we realize has been a long wait, but these extra months will allow us to finish the game with the level of polish you have come to expect and deserve. This is the second delay. The game was originally announced with a fall 2025 release window back in May 2024. Then in May of this year, they announced the first delay, pushing it to May 26th, 2026. Now it's November 2026. Take-Two CEO Strauss Zelnick told Variety that they're trying to deliver the most extraordinary title anyone's ever seen in the history of entertainment, and that Rockstar believes a limited amount of additional time is required for polish. The game has been in development for over a decade at this point. It's been 12 years since Grand Theft Auto 5 came out in 2013. Now, here's where it gets complicated. This delay announcement came less than a week after Rockstar fired employees across their UK and Canada studios. That happened on October 30th. According to multiple news sources, over 30 employees were let go. Some reports say between 30 and 40 people. The Independent Workers Union of Great Britain, the IWGB, says all of these employees were part of a private Discord server where they were discussing forming a union and talking about workplace conditions. IWGB President Alex Marshall called it the most blatant and ruthless acts of union busting in the history of the games industry. But Rockstar has a very different version of events. They initially said the firings were for gross misconduct. Then, according to Bloomberg's reporting, a Rockstar spokesperson said the employees were distributing and discussing confidential information in a public forum. Take-Two's position is that these two situations, the firing and the delay, are completely separate. A Take-Two spokesperson told Variety, "These two matters are entirely separate, and I think to conflate the two would not only be misleading, it will be highly erroneous." The IWGB disputes Rockstar claims. They say the Discord server was private, that only union organizers from outside the company had access, and that workers were legally protected in discussing the workplace rights. On November 12th, the IWGB filed formal legal claims against Rockstar. IWGB President Alex Marshall said, "We are confident that what we've seen here is plain and simple union busting. We will mount a full legal defense." More than 220 current Rockstar employees have signed letters demanding the fired workers be reinstated.
Talk to your leads, talk to your co-workers, please spread the word. Over the last week, we've been gathering signatures for an open letter. We gathered well over 200 of that. Today we're going to deliver it to management to let them know this is not a workplace that will stand up to this kind of behaviour. This is a workplace that stands up for itself. These are workers who stand up for each other. We have two very clear demands. Reinstatement with full compensation for lost pay for every worker's life, and a clear commitment to accountability for the company.
There have been protests outside Rockstar and Take-Two offices in the UK. This is now playing out in the legal system.
Clear an interest because I have an employee who works for the company I'm about to mention, although they are not affected by the action it's taken. That company is video game company Rockstar, who's fired at least 30 employees across its UK studios, including Rockstar North in Edinburgh. Several of my constituents have been directly affected, and some came to see me last week to express those concerns. They claim they have been sacked because they were trying to unionize and discussing working conditions in private. But Rockstar have accused them of distributing confidential information and sacked them for gross misconduct. I've written to Rockstar to ask for information on the issue, but I wondered, could I have a meeting with the relevant minister to discuss what steps can be taken to support?
Okay. The sector she talks about is really important to the growth of the economy. But so too are rights at work, and successful companies are those that give decent rights and conditions at work, decent rights and conditions for the people they employ. So I will raise it with ministers and see what action, if any, can be taken to resolve this.
So here's the thing about the timing. Officially, Take-Two says the firings and the delay are unrelated, and it's entirely possible that's true. Sometimes these things just happen to be close together. But you can see why people are skeptical. You fire over 30 people on October 30th, and you announce a couple of days later on November 6th. That's less than a week. The gaming industry has had a really difficult few years. We've seen massive layoffs across multiple studios, reports of extreme crunch culture, workers trying to organize for better conditions. And GTA 6 is expected to be one of the most profitable entertainment products ever made. Analysts are predicting it could generate over $10 billion in revenue. When a studio working on something that huge takes action that a major union calls illegal, it raises questions, not just about this specific situation, but about working conditions across the industry. The IWGB pointed out that $10 billion is enough to end world hunger for a year. That's not how business works, obviously, but it highlights the scale we're talking about. Bloomberg reporter Jason Schreier, who covers the gaming industry extensively, reported back in May that nobody he talked to at Rockstar believed that the fall 2025 window was ever realistic. He said there was too much work and not enough time, but also a real desire from management to avoid brutal crunch. That last part is important. Red Dead Redemption 2's development was reportedly brutal with extreme working hours. After that game launched, there were industry-wide conversations about crunch culture. The reaction from the gaming community has been all over the place. You've got people making memes about we got this and that before GTA 6. That's been a thing for years now. Some players are frustrated because other game developers publicly said they were avoiding the May 2026 release window specifically because of GTA 6. And now those plans are messed up again. But there's also a really different conversation happening about whether delays are actually good. Rockstar has a history of delayed games turning out incredible. Red Dead Redemption 2 was delayed twice and became one of the most critically acclaimed games ever. What's different this time is that you cannot separate the delay conversation from the worker treatment conversation. People are asking questions like, are these delays because the game needs polish or because the team is understaffed after firing people? Is Rockstar actually avoiding crunch this time, or is it just PR? We don't have answers to those questions. What we do know is that the workers who got fired are fighting back legally, and the loss of current Rockstar employees are publicly supporting them. So where does this leave us? GTA 6 is now scheduled for November 19, 2026. Will this be delayed again? Sure, this is the second delay already. The legal situation with fired workers is ongoing. The IWGB has filed formal claims that will play out in UK courts over the coming months. This could set a precedent for how game companies handle union organizing attempts. And the broader conversation about working conditions in gaming isn't going away. More workers across the industry are trying to organize. More people are paying attention to how developers are treated. What happens with Rockstar, one of the biggest studios in the world, matters for the whole industry. For those of us who just want to play the game, yeah, we're waiting longer. But it's worth remembering that real people with real working conditions are making this game. The quality of the game is connected to how those people are treated. Rockstar says firings and delay are unrelated. The union says it's union busting. The legal system We'll have to sort that out. What do you think about all this? Do you think the timing is just a coincidence, or is there more to the story? Let me know in the comments below. And let me know if you like this kind of content. Thank you so much for watching today. I'm Laura, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.